And so do you find in a lot of these scenarios, because I can imagine some of these things are not cheap, right? But they're coming to you because they know they're going to get quality service and quality products.
Right.
Does that ever play a factor into what you're doing?
Not normally. On most of these projects, usually they're rather complex projects.
Mm-hmm.
And so they have budgets available for this. They're primarily looking for a solution.
Sure.
How do we pull this off?
Yeah.
How are we going to do it? Here's the aesthetic that we want, and we want to keep this particular element in the project so that it doesn't go away because of budget.
Right.
So how can we make it look the way that we want it to look without crushing our budget and everyone's happy?
Yeah. And so what are some of the ways that you do that? Is it by material? Is it by...
So what I'll do when someone sends me whatever it is, it could be anything, I'm going to look and see, how are you using it? What part of the country are you using it in? What are the most appropriate materials? In other words, what are the options that we have as far as material goes? And then from there, we begin to price the project. We may price a particular item on a project 3 or 4 different ways until we can narrow down what is the right material that will perform but yet meet that budget.
Right.
So that's kind of where it gets a little tricky, and that really, what I like about it is that really separates a lot of the companies out. And so less competition, and so thereby we're bringing that value. We're creating value to our clients. So instead of a client meeting with 4 or 5, 6 different people, they can just meet with me.
Yeah.
And I've got all these sources and finished materials, and there's not too much that we haven't seen out there. I mean, it does happen every now and then, but
it's like a one-stop shop.
We're pretty good at what we do.
Yeah. So what is the factor of where it is in the country? Is that just the natural elements of, if you're in Utah, it's going to be cold, and Georgia, it's going to be humid?
Exactly. So you might have a project in the Bahamas.
Okay.
And someone wants a very nice, extensive trim package. And your go-to is wood, right? Because it's cheap. But you don't want to do that in the Bahamas because that wood is going to...
swell.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just going to walk off the walls, with all the humidity.
Right.
So we have other materials and products that would be very suitable. We can do it in plaster. Okay, so, but what kind of plaster? I can do it in 3 or 4 different types of plasters.
Right.
And so, again, we just look, is it an indoor pool house? And if it's an indoor pool house, okay, I have certain materials that work really well in that environment. And so when I said earlier, that really separates a lot of the companies. A lot of companies out there who are suppliers don't have enough experience and expertise to really look at the application. They just want to sell you something,
sure,
whether it's going to work or not. And so, but we're not like that, because again, we don't chase profits. We are chasing good work.
Right.
We want to do good work for our clients that is the appropriate material for the application, and thereby most of our business, probably 70 to 75%, is all repeat business.